top 10 most devastating Super Bowl losses of all time. The Super Bowl is the pinnacle of American football, home to the greatest victories and the most heartbreaking defeats.
Livens up America. That's all it does. It wakes people up and makes them realize, you know what? We're good.
What happens when your team is on the wrong side of history? Today, we're counting down the top 10 most devastating Super Bowl losses ever, where the pain of defeat lingers long after the final whistle. Enjoy the pain, the pride, and everything in between until the end. We begin our list at number 10 with Super Bowl 58, held in 2023. It was a tense and exciting battle between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Philadelphia Eagles. The Eagles wanted to win another Lombardi trophy after winning Super Bowl 52 in 2018.
This is a special city. They deserve everything that's going on. We got one more.
The Chiefs, on the other hand, wanted to get back on top after being blown out the year before by Tom Brady and the Bucs. The Eagles got off to a favorable start and led for most of the game.
And so there you go, it is a touchdown.
Quarterback Jalen Hurts played so well that he should have easily won MVP. As outstanding teams do, the Chiefs didn't give up. The Chiefs were down by 10 points at halftime.
Jake Elliott up, and it is through, and the Eagles extend to a 10-point lead.
But Patrick Mahomes and his team scored 24 points in the second half to make an amazing comeback.
Got it in! Touchdown!
It all came down to one play, a defensive holding call in the final minutes on the Eagles. The Chiefs ran out the clock and won by 38 to 35 points.
The Kansas City Chiefs have won Super Bowl 57!
Even Eagles center Jason Kelce couldn't hide his frustration after the game, stating,
whenever you're playing in this game, it's usually going to be close. We're playing good teams, and it's a frustrating one, but, you know, we made up for it, kind of, but yeah.
For Eagles fans, this loss was a gut punch. Victory was within their grasp until one controversial call in the final moment snatched it away. That defensive penalty? It'll be debated for years, but for Philadelphia, it sealed their fate. Coming in at number 9, the infamous Hardball Bowl of Super Bowl 47 delivered family drama, a power outage, and heartbreak for the 49ers. The Ravens dominated early, building a 28-6 lead in the third quarter. Then the lights went out. Literally, the notorious power outage stopped the game for 34 minutes, and when play resumed, the 49ers staged a spirited comeback, cutting the lead to 34-31. However, the 49ers failed to score on a critical fourth down late in the game, allowing the Ravens to secure the win. The 49ers came agonizingly close following that spirited comeback, but the missed fourth down conversion still haunts their fans.
I did not like, well, there's a good grab by both hands by Jimmy Smith. The more angles I see, the more confused I get.
As head coach Jim Harbaugh reflected, "There's probably not a day that goes by that I don't think about that game and what we could have done just 7 yards away from getting into the end zone. You leave the field thinking there will be other days, but then you realize that might have been the only day. I just wanted another shot to take another crack at it," he added. "When I say it motivates me every day, I mean it. It's every day." That missed fourth down conversion still haunts 49ers supporters, particularly after coming so close to the end zone. Number 8 on our list is Super Bowl 36 in 2002. The Rams were big favorites heading into Super Bowl 36 in 2002. We anticipated their greatest show on turf offensive, led by quarterback Kurt Warner, to dominate the inexperienced Patriots. However, the Patriots, headed by a youthful Tom Brady, had other intentions.
They like Redmond as a pass protector. They bring him in because he's the best blitz blocker.
The Rams struggled early, and the Patriots' defense controlled most of the game. In the fourth quarter, the Rams rallied to tie the score 17-17.
The extra point. This is what Super Bowl is supposed to be.
However, in the waning minutes, Brady orchestrated a spectacular drive, setting up Adam Vinatieri for a 48-yard field goal that handed the Patriots their first Super Bowl victory with the score 20-17.
Adam Vinatieri.
For the St. Louis Rams, this loss was the end of their long-running winning streak. It was also the start of the Brady-Belichick dynasty, which was disastrous for many challengers across the NFL, including the Rams. In 7th place, Super Bowl 32 in 1998 pitted the favorite Green Bay Packers against the Denver Broncos. Before Super Bowl 32, the Green Bay Packers were clear favorites. Could Brett Favre lead a strong team to victory again? After beating the Patriots in Super Bowl 31, everyone thought they would repeat and become back-to-back champions. On the other side were the Denver Broncos, led by John Elway, who had lost 3 Super Bowls in a row and were desperate to finally get that elusive ring. In the third quarter of Super Bowl 32, with the score tied 17-17, John Elway faced a crucial 3rd and 6 from the Packers' 12-yard line. Dropping back to pass, he saw the pocket collapse and took off running. As Elway approached the first down marker, he was hit by 2 Green Bay defenders, launching him into a dramatic mid-air spin dubbed the helicopter play.
Scrambling, looking, running, diving inside the 5-yard line for a first down.
Despite the hard hit, Elway landed past the first down line, keeping the drive alive and igniting the Broncos' momentum. This play became an iconic moment, symbolizing Elway's determination and Denver's eventual first Super Bowl win. The Broncos, led by Terrell Davis, Super Bowl MVP, pounded the Packers' defense with 157 rushing yards and then a record 3 rushing scores. The Packers were on the verge of back-to-back titles, but a missed tackle here, a dropped pass there, and suddenly the Broncos were running away with John Elway's first ring. Packers fans were left wondering, what if? Ranking 6th, Super Bowl IV in 1970 saw the Kansas City Chiefs dominate the Minnesota Vikings, who were heavily favored. It was a big deal for the AFL because it was the last game before the NFL and AFL merged. The Kansas City Chiefs played for the AFL, and the Minnesota Vikings, with their Purple People Eaters defense, were huge favorites to win. In Super Bowl IV, the Vikings were a 12 to 13 point favorite. Even though the Vikings had the edge and were favored, the Chiefs beat them by 23 to 7, which wasn't even close. The Chiefs' defense really won the game because they forced 3 interceptions and held the Vikings' attack to just 67 yards on the ground. Every year since the Super Bowl began, the winning team's quarterback, Len Dawson, has won Super Bowl MVP. Vikings running back Dave Osborne said, "We didn't overlook the Chiefs, but we got outsmarted. They stopped our run, and we couldn't adjust in time." The Vikings had a 12-point advantage, and their supporters were confident in their victory. It hurt more because this loss disproved the NFL's superiority over the AFL. It was embarrassing for Minnesota's defense, and the Vikings couldn't adapt to the Chiefs' game plan. Moving into the top 5, Super Bowl 42 was one of the most devastating losses in Super Bowl history. The New England Patriots came into Super Bowl 42 with an unprecedented 18-0 record, on the verge of completing the first perfect season since the 1972 Miami Dolphins. The stage was set for immortality, but the New York Giants had other plans. Late in the fourth quarter, with the Patriots holding a narrow 14-10 lead, the Giants quarterback Eli Manning pulled off a miraculous escape from a collapsing pocket. On 3rd and 5, he launched a desperate pass to David Tyree, who made one of the most iconic plays in NFL history, a stunning one-handed catch pinned against his helmet.
Like a basketball player, Harrison trying to knock it down.
This miraculous catch kept the Giants' hopes alive and set up the game-winning touchdown with just 35 seconds left, sending shockwaves through the stadium. The Patriots, on the brink of perfection, were left in disbelief as their dreams were shattered with a 17-14 loss. What was supposed to be a crowning moment for New England instead turned into one of the most heartbreaking defeats in Super Bowl history as the Giants delivered the ultimate upset.
Giants win it by 3. Well, you heard Flexico.
The 4th most devastating loss occurred during Super Bowl 49 in 2015 between the Seattle Seahawks and the New England Patriots. The call in this game is known for being very controversial, and Seahawks fans will always remember it. With less than a minute left, just 1 yard separated the Seahawks from victory. Instead of handing it to their unstoppable force, Marshawn Lynch, they made the fateful decision to pass. The result? A moment that will haunt Seattle fans forever. 1 yard. That's all the Seahawks needed. But instead of the obvious choice, handing it to Marshawn Lynch, they opted to pass. And in an instant, Butler's interception crushed their Super Bowl dreams of winning back-to-back titles.
Marshawn Lynch in the backfield. You've got a guy that's been borderline unstoppable in this part of the field.
The Seahawks were only 1 yard away from a score that could have won the game. People will always question why they chose to pass the ball instead of running it with Lynch, and that play has become one of the most famous in Super Bowl history. The heartbreak of Super Bowl 56 will be remembered for years by Bengals fans. Cincinnati, led by second-year sensation Joe Burrow, defied all odds to reach their first Super Bowl in 33 years, giving the city hope that their long championship drought was finally coming to an end. Facing the star-studded Los Angeles Rams, featuring players like Matthew Stafford, Aaron Donald, and Cooper Kupp, the Bengals were clear underdogs, yet they showed incredible fight, even taking the lead in the third quarter, edging closer to a storybook ending.
Going deep, and it's caught by Higgins. He goes in for the score.
But the Rams' defense, spearheaded by the relentless Aaron Donald, came alive when it mattered most. As the clock ticked down, Stafford found Cooper Kupp in the end zone for the go-ahead touchdown, putting the Rams up 23-20. In the final moments, the Bengals had one last chance, but Donald and the Rams defense shut down any hopes of a comeback. For a franchise that had waited so long, the bitter loss stung deeply, leaving Cincinnati with a sense of what could have been after coming so close to glory. The second most devastating loss took place at Super Bowl 48 in 2014. For Broncos fans, this game went off the rails from the very first snap. I mean, when your Super Bowl begins with a safety, you know it's going to be a long night. One team outclassed the other so badly that the fans were shocked. Peyton Manning, who had set records during the regular season, led the Denver Broncos attack, which was the best in the league going into the game, but the Seattle Seahawks had the best defense in the NFL. They were known as the Legion of Boom. Denver's troubles began with the first snap when their center snapped the ball over the quarterback Peyton Manning for a safety. The Seahawks won every part of the game. They got out to a big lead right away and never looked back. Their 43-8 win was one of the worst losses in Super Bowl history for the Broncos. As Broncos defensive end Robert Ayers put it, they beat us in all three phases. They moved the ball offensively, got turnovers defensively, and returned to special teams play. One play didn't beat us. It was a collection of things. The Broncos, a heavy favorite to win, completely embarrassed themselves on the world's biggest stage, crushing fans. It was a negative loss for Peyton Manning's reputation because it made people wonder if he could perform in crunch time. And now, the moment you've been waiting for, the most devastating, soul-crushing loss in Super Bowl history. A game so painful that fans still can't talk about it without wincing. It's Super Bowl 41, the Colts versus the Bears. For Chicago Bears fans, Super Bowl 41 is a painful memory of what could have been. The Bears boasted one of the NFL's top defenses, led by the legendary Brian Urlacher, and a game-changing special teams unit featuring Devin Hester. Hester wasted no time making history, returning the opening kickoff 92 yards for a touchdown, igniting hopes for a Bears victory.
Inside the 30, Hester's going to take it all the way for a touchdown. And no flag.
But after that thrilling start, everything began to unravel, largely due to the performance of quarterback Rex Grossman. Grossman, who had struggled with inconsistency all season, had a nightmare game on football's biggest stage. He completed just 20 of 28 passes for 165 yards, but his 2 interceptions proved costly. One of those interceptions came in the fourth quarter, a pick six by Colts cornerback Kelvin Hayden that sealed the game for Indianapolis. Grossman also fumbled twice, struggling with poor decision-making and failing to handle the pressure of the moment. Despite the rain in Miami, Peyton Manning remained composed, executing a precise and methodical attack that exploited Grossman's turnovers and took the Bears' defense off the field. The Colts pulled away for a 29-17 victory, securing Manning's first Super Bowl ring. For the Bears, it was a bitter defeat. The combination of a historically dominant defense and Hester's kickoff heroics seemed like the recipe for a victory, but Grossman's erratic performance derailed their hopes. It was a missed opportunity that still lingers in Chicago, leaving fans to wonder how different the outcome might have been with more reliable quarterback play. For the Bears, it felt like a missed opportunity. As Rex Grossman reflected, "It was a frustrating loss. There were definitely opportunities for us to take the game, and we didn't do it." Despite having a historically great defense and Hester's famous kickoff return, they couldn't fix their offensive problems, and it felt like they missed a chance to get back to the top. So, this concludes our list of the top 10 most heartbreaking Super Bowl losses ever. These games, which included both painful last-minute losses and unexpected shocks, will go on forever in NFL history. Which Super Bowl loss hurt the most? Did we miss any games that deserve a spot on the list? Drop your thoughts in the comments section below. Do you agree with our list? Was there a Super Bowl loss that hit you even harder? Let us know in the comments because, let's face it, every fan has a painful memory. And don't forget to subscribe for more gut-wrenching sports moments. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.